All right, this is now good morning. All. I want us to start with this, as even though we will rename this later actually, but then we want to introduce database, MySQL database, with the use of Workbench. And please, you try to install this immediately after the class, so you can repeat what we are going to do here. As an introduction to MySQL Workbench, it is a client. It's a client that connects to the MySQL database server. We have a MySQL database server, but then you cannot just start using MySQL database. You need to have a client that connects to the database server. Right? We have made a lot of clients. The first client I want us to introduce today is the MySQL client. You can use the CLI client, CLI, the console client. But today is a MySQL client I want us to discuss with. And this is the MySQL client. If you start the MySQL client, when you load it, it takes you here. Are we there? So I want us to test some things here. The first thing we do is, let's go to the database. First of all, we need to have a connection here. We need to have what? A connection. The first thing is you click on this MySQL. Before the connection, let me introduce this bar, this sidebar. This is the database, the one with the symbol of fish and all this. That's the database. That's the symbol of MySQL. But then the next one is what we call the model. And the next one is the migration. We're going to talk about all these three, but today I want us to start with these two, the database and the model. I want us to talk about the two at the same time, because we're going to create the database using our commands, and then we'll create it using our the model. So the first thing you do, if you are new in using the database, you click on this plus sign, MySQL connection, for you to create a connection. So that's the first thing we do, the first step of using database. The first thing you do is what? One, create a connection, load the MySQL client, since it's the one we are going to use, or any other client. Being it whatever client you wanted using. You load it first. After loading, then you create connection, right? This is the step 2. Create what? Connection. Connection means something that connects you with the database server, because we told you that this is a client, so you need a connection for you to connect to the what? Database server. So you click on this plus sign. After clicking, you give it a name. Instead of saying castle service forever, let's say Python class, Python web class 2023. I think it's better, right? So this is the name of a connection I've given it. Then you come down. Can you see something here? The connection method, it's correct. The standard TCP/IP. Don't touch anything here. Leave it as default. Then the host name, the parameters. We have parameters SSL advanced. Just go by the default. The parameter, this host name. When you say 127.0.0.1, it means what? The connection, the port number, I mean the connection, sorry, the connection host, not port number, the host. The host is localhost. The host is what? Localhost. This localhost is the same as saying 127. It's the same as saying 127.0.0.0.0.1. So it's same. Don't touch anything here. Then the port number, we are going to connect through port number 33006. The port number is normally 4 digits, but some digits of the 4 digits have been awarded, have been assigned. Like 8 is the port digit. 8080 is assigned to the browser. I mean the Apache Tomcat. Some of the port numbers have been reserved, but for 3307, 330, 33 whatever, all these you can use them. So for now, leave it as it is 3306 because we need to connect via port number. Then if you want to store your password, you store it in the vault. If you don't, you can just click on the test. So you always put in password whenever you want to use it. You click on test connection. Can you see it says it tests what? Successfully. But if you change anything here, it will not connect. Unless if it is port number and you know you already have a database server that is running the port number. Maybe you have 3 installations of MySQL or 4 installations of MySQL. One is running as a MySQL server, second one is running as XAMPP, second one is running as WAMP, and whatever. Then you have to give them different port numbers, 3307, 3306, 33. Otherwise, there is going to be issue. I don't know whether we are following or not. Yes. Then you click on what? OK. After clicking on OK, can you see our connection here? It says Python. Sorry, I made a mistake. Python web instead of web. I said Python. No, we correct that later. Then I click on Python web, and then it connects us to the database now. Since the connection is correct, are we there? Then I want us to start working on the database. What do we want to work on? Let's start with this one first. When we show databases, it shows you all the databases that have been created. So you see, this material is already with you. I'm not going to waste time checking on it, going back and forth. Only that we are going to do this actually. I'll give you all that is needed here. And there is a question here that says you should create something like a management DB that takes care of pets. So, and then the query to create table for the pets is this. So we're going to do this actually. Yes, we're going to do this, and then assignment already have been sent to you. Immediately after the class, you do it. So the question is, you create a database. This is the question. Create a database that takes care of the record of what? Pets at home. Pets at home. So we're going to use the fields over there mentioned in the material here. We have the owner. Look at it here. The owner, the name, and the species, and all these are. So please, this is what we are going to do here. This is the table we are going to create. But then let's start it from here. The first thing you do is to check for all the databases that are there. Show databases. Show databases means you want to see, you want to display, you want the system to display all the databases that are in the system for you. So if you use, can you see 2 things here? This is executing all the query commands where the console is, and the first one is executing the query commands that are the whole query commands. The entire, if you have 20 lines, it will execute all. The one you highlight and use this, it will execute only where the console is. So if I click on this, it gives me, can you see can you see the list of databases we're having? I have lot of many databases here. So then we want to create ours here. Let's say we were asked to create a database with the name pet. Let's say now create database. What are we creating? We can create database, we can create trigger, we can create table and many other things. So you need to specify what are you creating. Create database, and the database name follows. Database name is what? Pet. Let us give it pet Python. Pet Python 2023. That is our own pet, because there are a lot of pets there. Are we there? Then it is not there actually, but when I you want to be doing as I'm doing, I think it will be good for you to concentrate, continue to write and understand, ask questions. Later when you grab the video, then you do yours, and then you. So when I highlight like this and I click, please can you see, come down here, can you see something here from the output, from the console here? It says what? Create database. This is the command. Then it gives you message. If there is error, it tells you that. Then it says one row what? Affected. Alright. If there is an error, if I want to create this again, it will tell me that it has exists. So let's try it and see kind of message we're going to see. Then if you click on it, can you see this is the what? The command, the action. And can you see what? Error code 1007. It says what? Can't create database page. What is the reason? Database exists. Alright? So you should be checking on that area for you to see what is happening with your commands. I'm sorry, am I fast? No. Alright? Then, so now how do we see? We now see, if I say show databases now again, and the databases are many here, right? I can now filter it and say pet. Okay, when I say pet, all the databases written with starting with pet will be displayed here. Can you see? We have PetDb, pet whatever, pets, and this is ours, right? Then you can copy it and start using it. If you want to make it active, you now say use this. Use means make it active, because there are many databases that want to make one active. So you do, then you click. Can you see it says 0 affected? That means your query is okay, no issue. Alright, so I want to see the tables inside there. I say show what tables, if any, and then I give it what? Can you see no table, right? The tables, no table is existing, is it? No table is existing, huh? So how do we create table? Now if you check the material here, we are using this tutorial. We want to use, this is the description of the table, that is the structure. We want to make use of a field called name, and it is varchar20, honor varchar20, specie varchar20, and sex varchar20. Please, part of assignment, you study the entire this is how I'll be doing things. I'll be writing everything here. You study the MySQL DB data types, all the data types for the MySQL DB, for you to know what they are. Okay, the inst, the double, the whatever. So now this, I want to make use of this. Can I divide the screen into two so we can be seeing something here? And where is the MySQL here? Is it okay by you? Is it okay? All right. Okay, this is not divided correctly. And this, I think, is now okay, right? So I need it here only here. Is it? So now we start. So how do we create table? To create table, you write this command: create. What are we creating? Table. The next thing is table name. The table name here is what? Pet. After making the database active, the next is what? You open and close bracket and terminate. Statement terminator. Okay. The first thing you do here, please check here. It says name, and it tells you that it is null. Yes, and it is a key. But I'm going to make a correction here. Actually, we need to make it auto increment. all right, because it should be incrementing. So here the first thing you do is to type in name. This is the field name. Then the domain, the type of the name. It is what? Int. And what it is int and auto increment. And then what? Primary. It is the primary key, because auto increment can only be it's only primary key that can be an auto increment.
Sorry. Yes, I'm office already.
Sometimes so auto increment primary key. The next thing is what? The next thing is honor. Is it?
Yes.
Honor. That's why I divided the screen into two. Honor. So what is the kind of okay, sorry. This we are supposed to make it it's not name, it's supposed to be an ID or something. Yes, thank you. And that's why they said varchar. So they have no primary key in their own something. So let's say ID, okay, or serial number or anything. Yes. So next is what? Is going to be name. The name is going to be varchar. Variable character means text, string, combinations of letters. Combination of what? Yes, combination of letters. Numbers 0 to 1, letters, characters. All these are special characters and all this. That's varchar. So, sorry, I introduced something differently. Okay, so now we go by varchar. Some are saying varchar. I don't know how the spelling is. Yeah, the pronunciation or something. Please check it. Somebody should bring that to us tomorrow. What is it? ID auto increment primary key. Yeah, thank you. Primary key. I did not say key. You see, it's correcting me, right? Primary key. And then the next is what? Honor. Okay. And then the next, the domain. The domain is sent. So I can copy since it is there. This is the importance of using MySQL Workbench. It's actually making you to be very much efficient. Species, right? Varchar 20. Then next is what? Sex. Sex. We want to make it. We want to be making use of M for male, F for female. So we go by what? Char. Char means one character. Char, you specify number of characters you want to do. We needed only one. Next is what? Birth. The date of birth. There is a data type called date. And the date of death, the date in which the pet died. Alright, it's also the birth. I think we're done. So let's now highlight everything and send it for it to be executed, right? Okay. Then I will now click on this execute. Can you see it has executed? It says what? It's executed within 0.75 seconds. Yeah. So then it's okay. So let's now see when we check on show tables now, it tells us that there is a table called pet. So what is the content of this pet, or what is the description first? How does it look like? The first thing you do is describe pet. Okay, you describe pet. Can you see? Okay, I'm done with that. So let me maximize my screen so we can see everything at a go. Can you see the description of pet? We have ID. No. That means it will never accept null. And then primary key, or to increment name, varchar, owner, species, and what? Set character, birth, death, and then I think we are done, right? Yeah. So let's see the content. This is the description. The content, if you want to see content of a given table, you write this command. Select asterisk from the table name, which is pet. Yes, our video is running, yeah. So you now click here. Can you see something here? It tells you that it's null. Nothing is there, right? It's null. So next, how do we insert? Insertion statements. That's why I say insertion of tuples here, right? How do we insert? To insert, we do write something like this. Insert, there are two ways, but let's go by one. Insert into table name is pet, values, close, open and close bracket. I mean parenthesis, sorry. We don't call it bracket, right? Parenthesis. ID. What is ID? ID from our description is null. So you don't write anything in null. Since it is auto-incremental, you write null. Because it's the system that will be incrementing it itself automatically. Do we understand that? Please come up here. When I describe, it tells me that ID is int and it is auto-incremental. So I don't write anything since it is auto-incremental. You only pass null. Okay, you pass null to it, but then the rest you have to supply. So what next here? Okay, name of the owner of the pet. Let me say the name is Kamal. You have Kamal here. Kamal. Next. Sorry. No, Kamal. Name of the pet. Let's say cars. Maybe they call one cars or something. Then the owner, the person who owns cars. Let's say Kamal. Kamal. Next is species. What is the species of the something? It's let's say it's cat. You know pet, right? Pet in the house. Then sex. If it is a character, you use single quotes. Let's say it's male. Next, when was it given birth to? Let's say you put in something like this in text for the dates, and then you write the dates. Let's say today's date. Today's date is 12-07-2023, right? Is it? Right. Please, you should be talking. Let the class be interactive and it should not be teacher-centered alone. Talk and ask questions. Even though we are on video, we'll answer your questions. Then when has it died? So you better start talking, please. When has it died? Let me add one day to read. Maybe it was anyway. Let me say next month. But if it is next month, how are you recording it now? Well, how did you know that something is happening? So let's say it was given birth last month, all right, and now 07-2023. You know, if care is not taken, you write something and when you've been asked questions. That's why this backdating of fast tracking dates is not always. So if I click on this, the idea is it's going to set into our database, right? Into our table. Please look up here at the bottom here how it is. So when I click, it tells me that there is an error here. Column birth at 1. That what? Incorrect date. Sorry, it's the date is date month. That's system date. Alright? Yeah, date month. So it has to be 2023 07 06 and -12. The next is 2023 07 and what? -12. So you see, that portion is very, very good for you. If you click now, can you see it says one row affected within 0.046 seconds it has inserted. So let's check if it is correct. Do we have something here? Yes, we have. This in the assignment you are asked to make about, is it 20 or 30 or 100 entries? I don't know really. I see 20 entries. Please try to do that. So you perfect it. Try to do it. Write the commands and enter. Let me just make changes here. Let me make some changes here. Let me see Jamil, cat, female, and maybe some days here. Let's say 10 days difference. Jamil. If I click, it entered, right? Then you check. So now I want to copy. I don't have time to do all this. I just want to copy and make some changes and have like some records here. Let me say Jamil 2. Let me say KD, if there is anybody with name KD man. Say KN man, if anybody is bearing this name. Let me have Paul here. And cat. Let me see dog here. Male, female. Let me say 4. Do you have lion as a pet? One has to be careful. Otherwise, there's going to be something. Let me say 3 here. And this I changed the date. 4. Alright. So I think I want to make kind of insertion at the go, right? Then I highlight everything and I push, and then like it's something is wrong, right? Okay, I can when I highlight like that, I cannot use the aesthetics. I cannot use the one with Kozo. I can use the first one. I can only use the first one, the one that executes many commands. This one. Executes selected commands. Then I tell it has entered and I check. Can you see we have something? I just want us to start writing some queries here. That's why I entered this. So when you are to select, okay, want me to see it?
Yes.
Where is it written? Adam, sorry. No, they are called them. Also finished. Okay. All right. Are you going to put in or just wait for me? Just give me some minutes. I'll come. Right. Sorry. I'm sorry for the cut off. Right. All right. You want to start querying here? When I query everything, right? What if I want to see only pets that are male? So this is the query for all. Only pets that are male. If there is any pet in this table that is male, then we'll begin to write conditions. Next assignment for you is to check on conditions in select statement where clause. So here you add in something. I'm going to write in capital letter for you to see, to understand that we're introducing something new. Select, all these are keywords. Select from where what? Where sex, thank you. Where sex equals what? M, but M has to be within quote, but single quote, since it is a character. But we're going to check with the double quote. If it works, then we know what. Right? It has worked. Is it?
Yes.
It's only one with M. Okay, please, let's see something here. What if I want to check the one with F? So we immediately understand the opposite of it, right? Good. All other ones are those with F. And we have about how many records here? 7 records. So we have 8 records in total, right? Can we play around something here? Where are those guys from Cat Poly? They should come back into the lab since we have spaces. There's something I introduced here and I don't know, you know, sometimes if you are teaching something, if the brain is not some older, those guys from Cat Police should come in. I don't want us to play around with something here. In 1 minute time you come in here, we don't have time, we're on video. Please look up here. When I say I want to introduce don't waste my time, I will be going right now. Okay, this is male. Do you have an idea that from here I can get female from male? Because the sex we have in the actual sex we have is 2, right? Yes. Even though we have another one introduced, but then from here I can now just say, okay, if I say not M, it will give me what? Opposite of it. So let's test. Oh, it hasn't worked. So let's check what is the problem. Okay. All right, you write before this. Okay. What is it saying? Sorry, let me clean here. This should work only if maybe server version. Okay, this version of the server is not taking care of this. Let me see here. Okay, it's not. So let me see, maybe introducing it with cut like this and M and not M here. Yeah, it's supposed to be something like this. Yeah, I'm sorry. This is why it's supposed to be sex, not what is in the equal part. So it will take you, it will give you the opposite. Yes. Can we type that from here? Not this. It will give us what? Male, which is 1 row. Is it? So you see, you need to, there are ways you play around these things. How somebody understand how it is, then that's how he writes the query. If you don't know how to handle database, actually software development will be very, very hard for you. If you want to become a backend or full stack developer, it will be hard. You must have to understand how to write queries. So the main thing is here, pet. We are talking about pet here. So okay, cats. You can also do something with species. If maybe you want to check on cat and not cat, whatever, even you can check on. So let's come over here for the dates. We want to check something here. Where can we calculate number of days these things have lived as before the death and birth? Yes. Then you check on what we call date functions. Yeah, date functions. Date functions. What is the date functions? Let me write this again. So I want to check which there is this we say I want to count on the dates, right? On the days they have lived. So if I introduce something here, that means I want to see everything. This asterisk means what? All columns. If I remove this and write only name, it will show you only name. Right? So the asterisk means what? All columns. Is it? So when I say I need all columns and later I need name, comma name, this is acceptable. It's repeated name here. Is it? I can say I don't need name here, I need ID. It will repeat it for you. The reason why I introduce this is I want to calculate something and I want to push it because I want to calculate number of days for each and every page. So what I will do is here to introduce something. I will say now that div. This is a MySQL function that checks on the difference between 2 dates. All right. So the first date, the best date should be the first one here. It accepts 2 parameters. One here. Sorry, I want to copy this. Two functions or all functions? It accepts 2 parameters. Yes. 2 dates. Parameters as dates. and the second parameter. You know, if you subtract the date of death, and date of birth, it gives you number of time. I mean, number of days, right? Is it? So if you check here, can you see this has lived 30 days? If you check, it was born June 12 and June 12. I mean June 12 and June and July, right? And all these, if you check, it gives you something. Yeah, something is coming up.
So sir, all the select and which is gutter data?
Yes, of course. Yeah, it's cashless sensitive. I think many questions were being asked in the material, in the assignment given to you. So it's your function now, it's your assignment to sit down and do all these. Plus other assignments are there. Many assignments are there. Actually, how we're doing it, I think if we go by this, actually we can cover up in just 3 days. We finish with these database things and start something. So by next week we're going to introduce a lot of other things. I think I will stop here for you to have time and go through what we have. If you want this query, the entire of it, I will do it. I will push it right now to somewhere, maybe to a notepad, and I'll send it to you. Jimmy, please remind me. I'll send this when I reach to Kasu. So maybe if somebody, and then the video as well. I don't know if I can push it to GitHub. I mean YouTube today. Maybe let me just supply let me give you the video locally before we push it to the. Alright, we start.